We've probably just had the biggest patch drop in terms of content and features added to Ghosts of Tabor since release. No, we've not had a new map or a wipe happen, but seriously, hear me out. They have finally added OpenVR. This is huge, as one of the biggest complaints about Ghosts of Tabor right now is what I call the Parkinson's screen, where your screen just shakes uncontrollably, and it's incredibly nauseating for people who aren't aware of the workarounds in order to get it to work properly. Basically, if you use a headset other than an Index or any other Lighthouse based headset, you have to choose the correct launch options in Steam in order to get the game to work properly. They also noted that they've potentially resolved the majority of the issues affecting virtual desktop performance. Historically, virtual desktop has had tremendously poor performance when trying to play Ghosts of Tabor wirelessly using your Quest 2. This basically forced people to use AirLink, which many of us didn't want to do. This change is massive because no matter how many times you're going to try and tell me otherwise, virtual desktop is just a superior experience over AirLink. In addition to the virtual desktop and the OpenVR changes, one of the most requested features has just been introduced into the game. If, like me, you use something like a Boke VR gunstock, the fact that the developers have now introduced a gunstock calibrator is just huge. This is a massive quality of life feature for people like me who do use gunstocks, and frankly, I am so happy that they finally added this into the game. As always, with any of these big patch updates, it's a great opportunity to hop into Ghosts of Tabor. So if you haven't already purchased the game, you can find a 25% off discount link in the pinned comments so that you can purchase the game on your MetaQuest headset. On top of that, it is cross-buy, so if you have got a gaming PC and you are looking at getting it on PC, you won't have to buy it a second time. And yeah, whilst you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Or another addition into the headquarters, which seems fairly small and pointless, is that they've given you a bench with some cans stacked up and 3 tennis balls. Well, they look more like juggling balls to me. And these are here explicitly to teach you how to throw in Ghosts of Tabor. And for the longest time, I haven't understood why a grenade stand hasn't existed in the tutorial. I just hope that they move this from the headquarters into the tutorial and actually have a specific stand for grenades. They also added in some occlusion stuff when it comes to AI, notably surrounding footsteps and voices. This is just a nice quality of life feature. It just makes the game feel more immersive because it shows that the developers are working on trying to improve the audio quality in game, as right now everything feels like it's just on the same plane of existence. You can't really tell if something's above you or below you. So this is a first step to working on the audio issues that do already exist and do persist to exist in the game right now. On top of all these new additions, they have made a number of fixes to long-standing problems in the game, which will come as a bit of a breath of fresh air for many players who have been playing for a long time. Some key ones of note here are they've potentially fixed the #1 reason why the Quest has been crashing. The SKS drum mag that you get from Kurtek no longer should have 3 rounds floating above it. Another change is that there have been particular rocks in the island of Tabor which at certain viewing angles become invisible and you can shoot them. They should have fixed those now, which is great. And they should have also resolved the issue surrounding the AI wallbanging everyone, because that was becoming quite a problem. They've also added back in the ability to move dead players and dead Fenix. I understand why they removed it, especially because it was causing problems, but this is just one of those mechanics which is essential to this game, because when you kill a Fenix or when you kill a player, it's very common for them to land on top of their gear, and you need to be able to move them to be able to access their equipment. So some other really important performance updates here. They've done a total rework of Island of Tabor, which is very much appreciated. They've introduced new grass systems, new tree models, an extended military base, new lighting, a wind effect for foliage, and just general big performance updates. I'm really excited to see how this now performs on the Quest, because the Quest 2 just has always had problems when it comes to performance on Island, and I'm really hoping that these changes will impact the Quest positively. They've also changed it that all purple keycard rooms no longer take a purple keycard, but instead are orange. I assume that this is because the purple keycard looks a little too similar to the blue keycard, or maybe it's something to do with people being colorblind. I don't know. I don't haunt the Discord as much as I used to, so there's probably a very good reason for it. I'm just out of the loop. They've also made it so that you can no longer sell the keycards, they just get destroyed. If you've got them, There's no real reason keeping them, just get rid of them. They've also removed the Founding Father DLC package from the terminal, so unless you already own it, you will no longer be able to purchase the Founding Father edition of the game. I'm going to have another video out later this week covering some other aspects of the Rat Camp series, so if you haven't started watching that series, you can see it here. And yeah, until next time, ciao.